Welcome to Sleeping with Sarah. I'm Sarah Albritton, a narcoleptic comedian, and this is a podcast where I interview people in my bed and we talk about sleep, comedy, and relationships. This is my 63rd episode, and I interviewed comedian Jonah Jurkens. Jonah runs a ton of shows. He runs a weekly show, The Blind Bet. It's awesome on Wednesday nights at the Pony. He produces the show Blackout Diaries, as well as the monthly show Feature Presentation at the Laugh Factory. If he's not busy enough, he also co-hosts the podcast Petals and Pricks with Kelsey Huff, which is a podcast about The Bachelor. You can follow Jonah on Twitter at Jonah Jurkens. That's JONAHJURKINS. We had a lot of fun. We talked a lot about drinking stories and comedy, and we just had a great time talking about all that stuff. Before we get into that, I do want to plug the Indiegogo campaign for the web series that I'm filming this summer called Super Narcoleptic Girl. It's a comedy about a narcoleptic superhero, and we're raising money to help with filming. So you can find our Indiegogo campaign by going to our website, superwebseries.com, or following us on Twitter at superwebseries. Every little bit helps, and it would mean so much to me if you guys could support and donate to the campaign. You can also catch me this Monday at POV at I.O. in Chicago. It's at 7 p.m. at the Jason Chin Cabaret. It's a topical sketch show that we do new sketches every week. Sleeping with Sarah is brought to you by Audible.com. You can go to audibletrial.com/sleepingwithsarah to get a free audiobook of your choice. This week, since we talked a lot about drinking, I wanted to recommend the book Wishful Drinking by Carrie Fisher. Again, that's audibletrial.com/sleepingwithsarah. To find out more about the podcast, please go to sleepingwithsarah.com or follow me on Twitter at Sarah Albritton. Well, let's get started with the show. Welcome to Sleeping with Sarah. I'm Sarah Albritton, and I'm here with my guest, Jonah Jurkens.
Hi.
How'd you sleep last night, Jonah?
I slept good. I got drunk, so I slept, and it was good.
What do you drink when you get drunk? Like, is it beer? Is it
No, I cut down
vodka?
from beer. I drink vodka waters with a splash of cranberry, and I call them UTIs.
Vodka waters with a splash of cranberry.
Very good. Tastes like a Jolly Rancher.
You know what I like?
And they're decent for you.
I like taking they have cucumber vodka and water. That's like really refreshing and keeps you hydrated.
Very good.
Lower calories.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Or I drink a whiskey on the rocks, like a bourbon on the rocks, Louisville. Mm-hmm. Bourbon on the rocks with a bottle of water. And I call that a seal breaker because it makes me pee a lot.
Thanks for saying Louisville correctly, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
A lot of people pronounce it wrong, so...
Which I love that city. The city's great.
Yeah, but we're a city of drinkers. So you have to go and find a 4 a.m. bar here. All the bars in Louisville are open until 4.
Yeah, I love that place. It's great. And I always make friends with the bartenders there. And then they're really nice and go to some cool bars and stuff. Yeah. I hate 4th Street though.
Oh yeah, 4th Street's you want to go to like Bardstown Road.
Yeah.
Like that area.
Yeah. That was fun. I went to a gay bar there and this guy...
You go all the way to Louisville to go to a gay bar.
Well, we just walked in, and because I went to that bar once before, and it wasn't a gay bar, and then we came back, and I'm like, this bar is a gay bar now. Like, you can just kind of tell, you know?
Yeah.
My girlfriend's like, it's not. I'm like, this is a gay bar. And, which is fine. I love gay bars. And then, this table came up, this guy started talking to me, and then we're having a discussion how old we think you are. And I was like, what's the discussion? He goes, I think you're like in your mid-20s. She thinks you're in your late 30s. And I was like, fuck you, I'm 30. And thank you, I'm 30. That was I've never been insulted and complimented so nicely and terribly at the same time. It was insane.
Well, I have this problem. I have a problem telling guys' ages. Because, I'm single. I'll go to bars occasionally with my muggle or non-comic friends, and, I can't tell the guy's in his 20s or in his 30s, And I used to have a joke about that, you wouldn't be able to tell until you go back to the apartment.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because the guy in his 20s has, roommates and, not great.
Not a comforter.
And, the guy in his 30s, everything matches, but there's no personality.
Yeah.
And that stuff.
Yeah, that's when I met Katie, my girlfriend, I was like, I gotta get a comforter now. So I bought a comforter.
Or at least have a bed that doesn't sit on the floor.
Oh, my mom taught me that's like, it's the most comfortable way to sleep. So I always do that. I always have a bed on the floor.
You don't have
a box spring though.
But you have a box spring.
Yeah,
What am I talking about? Mattress, no box spring on the floor.
Oh yeah, where it's like a air mattress.
Guys don't get it. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, have you ever gone to a girl's place and like, it was just like not what you're expecting? You're just like, well, I'm already here, so I'm gonna go. You know, like having a mattress on the floor, having like, I don't know.
Pretty easygoing, so anything kind of works. It's fine. But I've never really had that experience. But I've definitely been at guys' houses, been like my friends' houses, like just crashing. I'm like, I don't want to sleep in this fucking house. This is disgusting.
Well, your place is super nice. Well, probably because you've been living with your girlfriend for a while, so you guys made it all like nice together.
Yeah, she made it a lot nicer. But it was still nice before that. Because like I was living with my ex-girlfriend there, and then we broke up, and then I was like, I want to like be an adult. I was like 31, and I was like, I want to get my own stuff. So like I bought like a new couch, and I bought a table, and I just like completely.
So you adulted.
I adulted the shit out of that.
That's
house.
great.
Yeah, I was like, I'm an adult now. I'm an adult now. I'm gonna do what I want. And then we were living together, and I just started doing all this. And of course, like what was one of the arguments was like, why don't we get a new couch? Why don't we get this? And I'm like, well, let's just save money and then get a better place. And then as soon as we broke up, I'm like, got the couch. I started like putting things on the walls.
Making things your own.
Yeah, making things my own. Like everything I always wanted. And I was so excited.
That's awesome.
But then Katie came, when she moved in, then she made it even nicer. Like my the bedroom's nice, and she like added her own flair, which was really nice. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
I think, I recently, my roommate moved in like 2 months, like a month and a half ago or so, and so we've been like redoing a lot of the stuff, so it feels kind of nice to do that.
Yeah, it feels kind of nice, like a difference, you know? Like, this is new now.
Different energy.
Yeah, it's really fun, because you've been here 6 years, right?
Yeah, I've been in this apartment for 6 years, I love it. But our other roommate, so we're very social, outgoing. I have a third roommate who we like never see.
Oh, really?
Because he plays video games for a living, and he's always...
Really?
Yeah. He has like noise-canceling headphones, and he plays... Apparently people in Asia and Europe, it's a social thing to be at a certain level in a video game. Like, it's like, so some people don't have time to get to that level in their video game, so he'll play for them.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But it's all just this one, like, single-player shooter game or something, but that's what he does. And so he always has noise-canceling headphones, and, like, we hardly see him, but he's great. He pays rent. He's super nice when I run into him, but...
When you run into him?
Like, she lived here for a whole month before she saw him.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he, like, clean-shaven one, and then the second time you see him, he's got a full beard?
No. He's actually super...
Like, does he change a lot?
The thing is that she's like, oh, like, I thought he was going to be, like, a big guy, kind of slobby. He's a very attractive guy.
Oh,
like,
okay.
he's clean cut. What?
Do you have a crush on him?
No, I don't have a crush on him.
Okay.
I find him attractive. I've made the mistake of sleeping with roommates before, so not going to do that again.
Okay.
I had lived with, and I had lived in a 2-bedroom, and I had lived with this guy, and me and my ex, I had an ex for a long time, we went on a break, you know, and this guy had recently moved in, and he was attractive, and I didn't, we hooked up a couple times, and then me and my ex got back together.
Oh, awkward.
So.
Did your ex know then? When you guys got together?
Okay.
Like, listen.
Here's what happened was...
Don't worry. I now live with the person I was sleeping with in between.
Well...
times. It's okay.
A couple weeks before, he got this awesome job that paid way more, like in Wisconsin, like paid like $90,000 to live in Wisconsin, which was like ridiculous. So about a couple weeks before he was going to move out, I was sleeping next to my boyfriend, and I woke up in the middle of the night. And I was like, I just had this horrible nightmare, and my nightmare was that he found out that I'd slept with Matt, my old roommate, and that he was really upset about it. And so in my half-awake state, I tell him I tell him that I'd slept with Matt when we were on a break, and like the next morning, like when I fully woke up, he's like, do you remember what you said to me?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, I was hoping that was a dream. But he was very cool with it at the time, because he knew we were on a break. There's nothing he could do to say it. You know, he really couldn't be upset. But he's like, I'm glad I never have to look at that guy again, is basically what he said. But, yeah, sometimes having weird half-awake dream things can get you into trouble.
Yeah.
Do you have any weird sleep stuff?
No.
Other than you pass out a lot?
Yeah, I love drinking and passing out. It's my favorite thing in the whole entire world.
Wait, that's
I sleep better.
Thing?
It takes me my sleep thing is it takes me forever to fall asleep. I mean, it takes me like hours to fall asleep. Because like when I was 22, I started having really bad panic attacks, and then so my trigger is night. I was falling asleep. Because I was convinced that if I fell asleep, I'd stop breathing and I would die. So like I stood up for like 3 days. Have you ever had a panic attack?
I don't think I have, actually.
It's insane because like I wasn't a very anxious person, and then once I started having them, you just start getting more anxious, and I
have anxiety. I just haven't had a panic attack.
Oh,
I'll get
crazy.
Anxiety about certain things, but I don't think I've ever had a full-on panic attack. I mean,
you know that like for me, like you know that like right before you pass out. I've never passed out before, like passed out, but like you know like that when everything kind of gets dizzy and that feeling. You know, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna pass out. You stay like that for days.
Wow.
Yeah, and then like you just panic and like you have snowball thoughts. So you start thinking about one thing and then that leads to another and then it's just like you're just overwhelmed with.
And that's why
panic.
you try to breathe into a paper bag or something? Or?
I just I never took any anxiety medicine or anything. I just kind of slowly worked on it on my own. So like it would come, I'd have an anxiety attack every single night and then it would turn into every other night.
Every single night?
Every single night, yeah.
Was this from what age?
From 22 until, it took me like 6 months, and then it would go like every other night, and then it was like once a month.
Did like someone break into your house, or did something happen that made you like...
No, I would go, my friends and I, when we were like starting at 21, we'd go to Las Vegas every year. It was like what we do before college. And it was like, we go like on the off days, and we go for like 4 days straight, 4 or 5 days straight.
That's a long time in Vegas.
It's a very long time, but it was never on the weekend, so I've never been there on the weekend, so it's kind of dead and chill and fun. And when I went there the second time when I was 22, I would we'd wake up, we'd like go to the pool, and we'd drink so much I'd black out, and then we'd wake up.
How do you afford to drink so much that you pass out in Vegas?
Well, we worked all week. We all worked all summer to do that. So I worked all summer to have all this money.
To blow it all in Vegas.
Yeah, it was kind of the point. Yeah. And I don't gamble either because I just lose all the time.
Me too. I'm like, I do it like to a certain amount. I'm like, $30.
Yeah.
$30 a day. Until once I lose $30, I'm done.
And you always lose though.
Yeah.
You can't go into it thinking you're gonna lose.
It's entertainment value.
Yeah.
I put it as entertainment value because if it takes me 3 hours to lose $30, that's not that bad.
Plus, we found like cheap places. So we found I don't call it pre-gaming. I call it pre-drinking, which people kind of yell at me for that.
Pre-drinking?
Because I'm pre-drinking before I go drinking. You know what I mean?
But you're still drinking.
Right. So I'm pre-drinking.
No, but you are currently drinking.
That's not like before I drink. I'm pre-drinking. I'm pre-drink before I go drink. Not pre-game. I pre-drink.
Okay. Well, because there's no game you're going to.
Yeah, but usually when I'm pre-drinking, in my 20s, usually when I'm pre-drinking, I'm playing drinking games, so I'm not pre-gaming it. I'm pre-drinking it before I do my real drinking.
Okay.
Well, we would find this this place. It has dollar Michelobs.
Oh.
Yeah, so we would just get really ripped on that. Because, like, you'd go, but then you get so used to, like, that price. Mm-hmm. But then when you go to, like, the clubs, then it'd be, like...
$15 for one drink.
Yeah, like, I got 15 Michelobs for the same price. Like, what are you doing? Let me go get Michelobs. But I would black out, so then I would go out, I'd black out again. And that was 4 days. I'd black out twice every single day, right?
In the afternoon and at night?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So, and it was just, like, some crazy shit. It's just fun. And on the... we were in the airport, our plane got delayed, and we were just sitting there, and all of a sudden, I had this overwhelming sense of panic, and I didn't know how to handle it, and I was freaking the fuck out, and, like, I just started focusing on my breathing. I'm like, I have to tell myself to breathe. My arm went numb, like, I, would lose my vision would go in and out, like, blurriness, and that was, I didn't know I was having a panic attack, but I was having a panic attack, right? And I was in that state for 3 days straight. And part of it was I was going through probably alcohol withdrawal, which then my liver was really weakened. So your anxiety has a lot to do with your liver. So when you're drinking a lot, also because you're drinking... Yeah, so when you're drinking a lot, your anxiety is generally higher. So like I don't get hangovers at all, but my anxiety is really high the next day, usually, after I drink.
It's like an anxiety hangover.
Yeah. So then finally, like 2 days into it, I was like, I'm having a panic attack. And then I called my mom, and my mom took me to the hospital, and they're like, yeah, you're having a panic attack. And then they gave me medicine just so I could sleep because I didn't sleep for 3 days. And then
Did you hallucinate or anything?
No, but like I would.
If you go like 3 days, you're considered like legally insane if you don't sleep for 3 days.
Yeah, but like I would get like 30 minutes here or something like that. But like I would get the spins in my dreams. So like my dreams completely changed. So when I would dream, the room would just be spinning, like out of control.
Oh, weird.
But then I'd be conscious of my dreams. So I'd be like, wake up, wake up, wake up. And then I'd have to like get myself to wake up.
Almost like a sleep paralysis, but you're spinning.
Yeah, it was really weird. And then I would have like Inception dreams where I would dream in a dream. So I'd wake up and I'd still be dreaming. And then I'd wake up and still be dreaming. And then when I would actually wake up, I was like, am I in a dream right now? Like I was losing my mind. And then, like, I had to keep myself busy. So, like, my girlfriend would just, like, wake up, and she would look, and I'm just, like, cleaning at, like, 3 o'clock in the morning because I didn't know how to handle what was going on. Oh. And also I was taking a philosophy class. So then...
Philosophy classes never help with anxiety.
Right. So, like, are you dead right now? I'm like, no. Like, prove it. I'm like, and then
what would Sark say about this?
Yeah. And then, so then it would turn into... every night, then it turned because my trick is sleeping because I would feel like I would die if I slept because I would stop breathing. So it was always hard for me to fall asleep at night. But now like sometimes I get like real panicky before I fall asleep.
Gotcha.
But I'm pretty good at handling it. Like I can just come like.
And that's why
you're just in your head. You're fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So and that's one of the things like I'm all for taking medicine, but I just with this type of stuff it's just like I just taught my brain to get out of that.
I think that with a lot of medications, and I definitely think this, and this is coming from someone who I've been on medication and I have to be on medication to be able to live my normal life. But for some things, for some things, I think like ADD or like anxiety, depression, like there's drugs on top of drugs. Like they give you drugs and then when that drug stops, they're like, oh, keep taking this one drug and then take this other drug to stop that side effect and then take this.
Yeah.
So my problem with it is I think it's okay if you need to take a medication, but my problem is when the drug companies just kind of work together and like, oh yeah, this person ends up taking 4 different medications when they really could just take one, or they could try to meditate or try to do something else to not have that problem. I'm not saying that that's for everybody, but I think it does. They change your personality. I changed my medicine in January because I was very tense over political climate and things like that, and my medicine I had been on for a long time doesn't help that tension. It makes you more. It's like it's a form of Ritalin that's like extended release, so it made me very on edge. Okay. And so I switched my medication, and I realized my personality switched a little bit, and I was like, how much of my personality is based on the medication I take?
Is that crazy? That can like affect you like that?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's nice because I don't talk as fast, and like there's some things that are better.
I still think you talk way too quick.
It's still tough.
I talk very quick too. So
but like a year ago, I would talk way faster, and that was something I had to work on with being on stage because the adrenaline would also push that.
Yeah, it's weird because then it's screwed, and then you'll start stepping on your own jokes. Yeah. So then you're just like, like living in it is a hard thing to kind of learn.
Yeah. So you don't take any medicine?
No. Yeah. No. I just kind of fought it. I kind of fought it off, and then I still my panic attacks are starting to get come up more because I'm getting older. And then you start thinking about your mortality, and then like that, and you're like, like that. Mm-hmm. So that kind of sucks. But I'm other than that, pretty good. So I just go out drinking.
Yeah, you go out
drinking. If I'm out drinking, I ain't home thinking. That's kind of the way I like to think.
Yeah. And so, in terms of drinking, like do you have a pretty high tolerance then?
Yeah, I have a huge tolerance. And I don't get. It's gonna sound like an alcoholic this whole time. You can't talk about how much you love drinking without sounding sad and pathetic.
Well, the thing is that you also run a show called the Blackout Diaries, which is like where you talk about all your crazy blackout stories. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and I love hearing those stories. Like So Sean Flannery started that show like 8 years ago, and I moved down here to do stand up. Like that was like one of the big shows to get on.
It's a fun show.
It's a great show.
And I love the PowerPoint aspect of it. Yeah. I had a lot of fun with it.
It's so fun. But it just reminded me of like college. Like my favorite memories of college is Sunday mornings hanging out with your friends being like, what the fuck happened last night? You're like, dude, you did this, and then you went over here, and then like, oh my god, what happened with that person? Like, oh no, it's great. Like those are my favorite stories. And I love them. And now I help run a show where that's all I hear is these amazing drunken stories. And they're so fun. It's just like drinking's so fun, and like I don't get hangovers at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like 10% of the population or 20% like don't through like a mutation that we have. So my body doesn't process alcohol as poison.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get hangovers. So I black out consistently. That's all I do is black out.
And you don't have any consequences with it.
And no consequences. So, but the thing is, my tolerance is going down because I'm getting older. But I've never had to like find where that tolerance is. And I drink so much and so quickly that like I just get like ridiculously drunk. And so it's like I gotta calm down a little bit. But it's just like last night I got like the perfect amount of drunk. Like I didn't black out, but I just felt it good. And
I enjoy drinking. I enjoy social drinking, and I used to drink. I used to have friends that owned bars down the street, like in Wrigleyville, and so I would go, and they would just give us like shot after shot after shot for free. Yeah. And I'd end up like and like me, maybe I was probably maybe like 20 pounds heavier, but still pretty small in terms of size. I would do not even exaggerating 12, 15 shots in a night. Like in a night.
What'd you do on your 21st?
What?
What'd you do on your 21st?
Oh, my 21st? I was at I went to IO, and then I went to this is embarrassing. I went to John Barleycorn.
Oh yeah.
Because it was at midnight. Because I turned 21 at midnight, so I was able to go. Nice. Yeah. And I was dating an older guy at the time.
How old?
He wasn't that much older.
How old?
He was probably like 25, and I was 21, so it wasn't that old.
I thought you were gonna be like 40. And I was like,
no. But I dated an older guy when I was 16. That was probably too. I was like,
Sarah.
He was 22, 16. That's not that bad, right?
Then notice when you're 22.
What?
When you're 22 and you're dating a 16-year-old, that's sad. But when you're 16, you're dating a 22-year-old, you don't know any better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you're 22, it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Like looking back at it.
Yeah, looking back at it, it's a little gross, but
But not on your end. Yeah. Only on his end.
But at least I learned how to enjoy sex.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one thing I will appreciate from that experience is he knew more what he did that was doing than probably a 16-year-old would.
So you would encourage 22-year-olds to sleep with 16-year-olds?
No, I would not. Absolutely not. Okay. But in terms of age difference, I don't know. Like, because my parents, my mom was, when they started dating, my mom was 19 and my dad was 32, and they're still together and still, like, legit, like, in love.
Yeah. So, I'm 34. My girlfriend's 20. My girlfriend's 16. And I'm teaching her so much, and it's really important. And see, that's not sad. That's just good timing. No, she's like 20. She's 28. So I mean, there's a 6-year difference there.
But that's not bad.
That's not bad. When you get older, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. So you went to John Barleycorn?
Yes.
I used to think that place was great because I only went downstairs. And I would go there before when I was studying at Improv Olympic when I was across the street.
See, that's what I did. I'd
go there and eat, and I love their food. And I was like, this food's great. So I'd always say John Barleycorn's the greatest. And everyone's like, I don't think so. I'm like, dude, their food's good. It's chill downstairs. They're like, have you ever been upstairs? I'm like, there's an upstairs. And I went up there, and I'm like, fuck this place.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing was...
I ain't never going back.
So I was at it was at where the old IO was, right?
Yeah.
So we had gone to a show, and it was like, we were going to go see a show until it turned midnight, and then we go across the street when I would go. So he bought me, like, a drink at the bar, and so I was already drinking, but then I went across the street and was able to go, because I didn't have a fake, so I never had a fake ID, so, but yeah, that was fun, because I got really drunk that night, and then we went back to his place, and I think I tried to have sex in his elevator, but it didn't work. Because I was really drunk.
Right, and he was like, I'm not even in the elevator. You're like, oh.
Exactly.
Shit. How many drinks did you do? Do you remember?
I don't know. It was 21. I was just like drinking everything.
I had a shirt that my girlfriend at the time made me, and it's my 21st birthday.
Oh, I didn't do any of that shit. I didn't do any big party or anything.
Oh, I rented out a bar, and I in the back it said like shirts, mixed drinks, beers, and I practiced for 3 weeks to get my liver strong enough for my 21st birthday.
You trained for your 21st birthday.
So the weekend before, all my friends went. I'm from Milwaukee, and all my friends went to La Crosse, Wisconsin, which is a very fun college town.
That's the town that my old roommate got the job in. That paid really well.
Yeah,
La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Yes, I would hate to live up there, but it's fun to visit. And they have the biggest Oktoberfest in the country.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Huh. So my friend's birthday was around then, so I'd go up there a lot for that. But then I went up the weekend before because I wanted to push my fake ID to as hard as I could because there was only a week left. Mm-hmm. So I just was like, let's go to all the bars because they were a little older than I was. And then I got so fucked up that week. I did a 3-hour power hour.
Oh.
So a power hour is you do a shot of beer every minute on the minute. And 6 beers.
And they change the song or whatever.
Yeah, you can do that, like make mixes and shit. But I did 3 in a row. So I did 18 beers before we went out. And then we went out, and then I don't remember any of that. I just woke up on the couch, like, it was like an L-shaped couch. Mm-hmm. And my head was like on what here, my friend, our heads were almost like our foreheads were basically touching. It was probably the cutest thing ever. And but the night before, I go up there, and my friend's like, well, I'm kind of seeing this bartender in Winona, so we need to go there. So I'm cool. So I drive him there, and it's his friend's birthday who I've never met before. So we're going out. I'm drinking with these guys, and I've never met this guy before in my life. His name's Chris, and also my friend comes up to me and is like, hey, she just got cut. We're going back to her place. So you need to you can stay here with Chris and hang out, or you can come home with me, or you can just find some girl, like, because, like, we're 20s, we're douchey, or just try to find some girl now. And I was like, I guess I'll stay with Chris, I guess. And he goes, okay, and he left. And, like, I'm just sitting next to Chris. Mm-hmm. And he's like, who are you? He's out with all his friends, having a good time. And I'm like, I'm stuck with you now, you know? So he instantly didn't like me. And then I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just drink at the bar. And I was drinking at the bar, and I was like, kind of like talking to people, meeting. I like the social aspect of drinking, you know? Mm-hmm. And this girl comes up to me, right? And first off, they had these like orange drinks for $2 there. Yeah. Or the dreamsicles. This girl comes up to me. She starts signing to me, right? And then her friend.
Do you know how to sign?
No, her friend comes up and she goes, "My friend Steph. She says that it's nice to meet you, and she wants to say hi." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, tell her I said this, and then this goes on for 10 minutes, right? Just like, tell her I said this. And then she, at the end, her friend's like, she thinks you're really cute, and she'd like to talk to you more or whatever. And of course I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, tell her, she's a cute girl too. Is this before
texting was really big?
Yeah.
So you couldn't use...
Well, I mean, we're talking at a bar.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh yeah, I just figured out what you're going for. You're smart. And so then I tell, I go, this way, I think she's cute too. I tell her I think she's cute too. And then the girl who's signing comes up to me, grabs my hand, and she goes, I'm fucking with you, I'm not deaf at all.
I love it.
And I was like, you deserve a drink, let's get a drink. And I ordered those dreamsicles, and right when I ordered them, this girl comes up on stage on the bar, and she's like, I'm gonna dance on the bar, and she kicks the dreamsicles at me, right? And I just see orange, and I got covered. Both this girl and I are just covered in this drink. I'm wearing a white shirt, it's orange all over. Then I look over, Chris leaves, and I go, I have to go. And I just follow Chris, and we go to this guy's house. I'm so drunk. This is the first time it's ever been like that in my life. I'm so drunk, nobody knows who I am, and I'm just sitting on a couch, right, by myself. It was so embarrassing. And then I get sick, so I go out, and I throw up, so I'm some random dude that nobody knows, it's just hanging out, and I'm throwing up in the bushes, and then I come back and I pass out on this chair. And then I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, fuck, I was that guy for the whole night. Never been that guy in my life. Never, like that guy. But I wake up, it's just a long story, sorry. Yeah. I wake up, and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. And I'm like, what happened last night? And like, I look at my hand, and I have like stickers, like all over my arms. I'm like, what the fuck? And like, marker all over me. So I'm like, what? Oh shit! Really? And I go to the bathroom and I look, and I just have they marked me the fuck up.
Oh, they did that to you. You look like a penis.
No, I wish swastikas.
Oh no!
I thought Hitler was right on my neck, like stickers, and I'm like trying to scrub it off, and it's permanent fucking markers. I'm like, Jesus, and I call my friend. I'm like, where are you? And he's like, my girlfriend has a flat, so you need to come. You need to walk. Mm-hmm. Here. I go, where are you? It's dead of winter. Where are you? Okay, find out. It's like, I'm on this side of the town, he's on the other side of town. Small town. So I have to walk through downtown. I have no jacket. It's like 20 degrees out. Walk through downtown with a shirt covered in orange, with stickers and swastikas all over my face. And it's Friday morning, so people are coming to work.
Walk of shame.
Yeah. And then I go to my friend's house, and he goes, what happened? I go, I'll tell you about it. And then I go, where's my car? Because I drove up. I go, where'd I park? And he goes, oh, you know that house you're at? I go, yeah. He goes, it's right next door there. I'm like, you'd be fucking kidding me. So I had to walk through downtown yet again, no jacket. And that was a weekend before my 21st birthday, where I was that guy.
Yeah, you were that guy.
But I worked on it. And then on my birthday, I did a power hour before we went out. and then I did 32 shots.
So you pre-drank.
Pre-drank. I did 32 shots, and I did 11. I had 11 drinks doing that too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then I blacked the fuck out. I invited my girlfriend. This is why I love stories. I invited my girl. Okay, I was a piece of shit at this age. I was cheating on my girlfriend with this girl, right? My girlfriend would go to school in Madison, which is an hour and a half away. So on the weekdays, I started I worked with this girl, and we just started kind of liking each other, and then we were kind of whatever, which was not. I was an asshole, right?
But most guys at 21, 22.
Yeah, and I was a fat kid, and I was
You were fat?
Yeah, I was working out all this time, and I just I started getting attention from girls I never really had before.
had that before. Yeah.
No, I never really had it before. So it's I should have been single, and so this girl was my friend first. So then I'm we can't do this anymore. I can't do this. This is wrong. We're just gonna be friends. She's like, okay, cool. So I'm dumb, and I just want everyone at my 21st birthday. So I
invite both.
Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh.
It's Allison and Ariana. Ariana's the girl, the mistress. Allison's the girlfriend. I invite Ariana. Allison already doesn't like Ariana, right?
Because you have a sense about that.
Yeah.
I've been in that situation where you've been at a thing, and I'm I got a sense about you. It's a weird.
Yeah. And then so this is before digital cameras were big and phones could do that. So I had disposables. So I was here, take action shots, take stage shots, take this. All I want is one shot of everyone doing a shot together. There's 40 people there, just one shot of everyone doing it, right? Mm-hmm. So, and since my girlfriend goes to school 2 hours away, nobody really knows who she is. So I'm introducing her to a lot because I met a lot of new people during that time. So I'm hey, this is my girlfriend. This is my girlfriend. I got so drunk, I started saying, this is my girlfriend Ariana. Right?
Oh.
I don't realize I'm saying it.
No.
Right? So Allison's why do you keep saying that? And I go, excuse me? And I go, what? She goes, you keep introducing me as Ariana. What's the deal? And I was I don't know. And then I was so concerned about that. I kept doing it more and more and more. Understandably, she's hurt, right?
Yeah.
There's an actual picture that I have of Allison looking kind of weird, and then me looking off to a friend with this face where I'm like that. There's a picture of that exact moment. It's my favorite picture I have.
Favorite picture.
So
because the time when you were that guy.
Yeah, just an asshole. And I love getting it. I like stories where I end up getting it in the long run. You know what I mean? I love stories like that where you act all cool.
Because it's also it's I don't know. It's you end up getting what you want, what the person wants.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when you think you're cool and then you end up just getting it. So she's just I gotta go, I gotta leave. Understandable. She runs out of the bar, right? And it's January. My birthday's January 31st. It's snowing. It's a beautiful movie, right? I'm don't leave, and I'm running after her, right? Don't leave, please, babe, don't. Snow. Even when I'm running, I'm this is so beautiful. And I grab Allison, and I go, don't leave. She goes, why? And I go, because I love you, Ariana.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then she just looks at me, and it's too silly to even have an argument. So I go, all right, I'll see you later. And then she's like, I'm leaving. And then she walks away, and I go back, and I have the best time of my night. And it was of my life. I had so much fun. And then it was just a nightmare. But just like that, just grabbing her. I can still look at it. I love you, Ariana. It could have been
a big moment. If you said, I love you, Allison, it would have been.
Then I love you, Ariana. Just eyes, and then just say that, making eye contact, and instantly both of us were all right, this is over, we'll see you. Yeah, all right, bye. And then I went back, and I got even more drunk.
So you went back to get more drunk after, and you just had a...
I did a 4 horsemen. I did a lot of things. I actually got a tidal wave done to me. Do you know what a tidal wave is?
I don't know what any of these things are. I feel very out of the loop.
I'm it's embarrassing how much I know about drinking. A bartender will pour a shot of something blue, and then when you drink it, they throw a glass of water in your face.
No, I have not done that.
That's a tidal wave.
I've done pretty more simple. I've done body shots. I've done lots of different kinds of drinks.
I've never done a body shot.
You've never done a body shot?
No.
I've done a body shot. I've had somebody do a body shot off of me. I've done those things before, so that's fun.
I've never done a beer bong.
I did that once when I was 15.
Okay. I can't chuck. I'm not chucking.
Yeah, no.
But because I love buying people shots. I love getting people drunk. It's costing me so much money. now that I'm in Chicago too, but I've just kind of perfected the art of taking really disgusting shots.
Oh yeah, and you see, I think it's fun. Like I'll take a shot of just about anything. Like I'll try it. Like, but some are really good. Like there used to be, what is it? Oh, pancake breakfast shot they used to have, which like tastes like pancakes and syrup.
Yeah,
that's what it tastes like.
Yeah,
wonderful.
I know. All those shots that the bartenders hate making. And they're like, ugh, fine, I'll make it for you. You're like, please, I like it. I like Malort now. I'm like,
you like Malort?
I like Malort because
wow. Is that why they sponsor your show, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So we would all take a shot during the show. So I just like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like
acquired taste.
Yeah, it tastes like shit, but I love it, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, oh man, yeah. There's so many different types, and I feel like certain people, like, do you get different level? Like, I had a friend. Every time she drank vodka, she'd end up crying by the end of the night.
Really?
Like, do you ever have those things? Like, if you drink, like, if I drink tequila, I get a little wild. Like, I mean, like, why? I don't know how to say this. Yeah, I get very touchy-feely, like, wild kind of thing. You know, like, very loose. You know, I'll probably make out with, like, 3 people. You know, if I'm drunk on tequila. You know?
I get belligerent on wine. Mm-hmm. Like, it just, because I drink so much of it, and I don't realize it. I think it's beer. So, and like those are the nights I've had to be carried out of like Laugh Factory, when I figured out that the ratio that you get, because as a comic you get a full glass of wine, which is basically 3 glasses of wine. You get 2 free drinks. This is what happens when you drink a lot. You figure out how to do things. You get 2 free drinks at Laugh Factory, so then you're basically getting 6 glasses of wine for free.
See, I'm still...
First night I figured that out, I had to be carried out of Laugh Factory.
I'm super cautious still at Laugh Factory. I don't think I've ever been, like, drunk at Laugh Factory. I've been really stoned. Super stoned. I think one time I was drunk and I was paranoid the whole time because I was like, oh no, I don't want people to think, you know...
No, I stopped doing it because of that.
I try to be, especially in clubs, I try to be very cautious, and, like, I don't think... Like, I'll go to bar Brendan's and get drunk at Brendan's, but I won't get drunk at Laugh Factory. I'm just cautious about that.
No, that's so smart. See, I've fucked that up big time, and because
I don't want to say something. I don't want to say something bad, or I don't know, like. Oh. Like, so do you drink before you go on stage?
Yeah, I'll try like a drink or two. I've never performed drunk, and I kind of refuse to. Like, sometimes when I host, like by the end of the night, I'll be a little too drunk, and I get really mad if I feel like I'm slurring, but. I won't. I don't know if it's like just to calm my nerves. It's more like with the medicine thing. It's like it just slows my speech down a little bit if I just have a couple.
Yeah,
drinks.
I'll have like a drink before I go on stage, but that's like I usually like limit it to that just to chill. But yeah, I've seen some comics be completely drunk on stage. Oh my god.
Sean Flannery can go up on stage and be blacking out and you couldn't even tell. I don't know how he does it. It's amazing.
Yeah, some people can really hold their shit together, but I've also seen it where they didn't hold their shit together. And
it's not good. And you get a bad reputation for that. And once you get a reputation too, it is so hard to break that. Like that's the one thing when I was I was acting like Laugh Factory was like a bar where I would drink and have fun, and I started just drinking too much there. This is a couple years ago, and that's when like one of the managers, like Brian, went to talk to me, and he was just like, "Dude, like you can't." And I go, "I've never been drunk on stage." He goes, "But nobody." He goes, "Nobody remembers you on stage. They remember you the last time they see you. So if you're stumbling out and you're that drunk, like people are just gonna think that that's how you are that whole day."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so smart because I've definitely the first time I was at the Improv. I was you first start hosting there, and I can drink a lot, right? And without being drunk, so I don't realize that number to a lot of other people.
So if you're like, oh wow, Jonah had 5 drinks.
Yeah, so I, it was my first weekend there, and Ricky Smiley was there, who was like an urban comic, so it was like an all urban crowd, right? So I'm basically the only white guy there, and he brought his own opener. He's super nice, so funny. Some of the most fun shows I've ever had, and. I was like loose and having fun, and I wanted to go well because it's my first weekend there. So then I talked to the manager, Luke, afterwards. He was there for the last show, and I was just like, "Hey man, like I know it's kind of a weird weekend, but I think I did really well." And like the sound guy was like, "Yeah, you're doing really well. Like Luke will like it." And I was like, "Any notes? Anything that you'd like for me to work on? Keep working here?" And he's like, "No, you seem fine on stage. You did great." And he goes, "So, are you drunk right now?" And I was like, "No. I don't feel like I am, I mean, I'm buzzed, but nothing like that." And then he goes, Yeah, it's kind of surprising that you don't seem drunk because I looked at the green room numbers and you had 11 vodka waters today, and I was like
11.
Yeah, and I didn't know what to say because I wasn't paying attention, and I was also there for like 6 hours, but I didn't know what to say, so I was just like, yeah, I'm from Wisconsin, we drank a lot, and then it started a bad reputation with him, understandably, because if I drove home and I got into an accident, he's at fault, so he can they can get really fucked up, so you just So that moment happens, and then when I first started performing,
When was that?
This was 2 years ago.
When did you start performing?
Oh, right before 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah. So then I started in Milwaukee, and they have a club up there, and when you host, you had to host your open mic first before you could start working there, and you didn't get paid to get free drinks. So give me free drinks, I won't take advantage of it. Which is not good. And then I went back a month later, and then they were they only give me 50% discounts. And I was like, I thought it was free. When you get free drinks when you do it? He goes, yeah, some asshole last month ruined it for everybody else. And it was me, because I drank 14 beers.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I saw the bartenders out, they're like, Jesus, you had 14 beers while you're there. And I was like, yeah. He's like, you don't even seem drunk. I'm like, I don't know. What do I do? And,
damn.
Yeah, so it's just so that's smart. So I barely drink now when I perform, because I don't want that reputation.
Yeah.
It's bad.
That's smart. Yeah. I mean, I've never really, I think the only time because back when I was, when I've gone to all-inclusive places, that's when I've also gotten really crazy drunk, too. Yeah. And that's, where you just keep, because you just keep taking shot after shot after shot, because it's free.
It's free, yeah.
And you don't even realize it. And then it's when you stand up to go to the bathroom, and you're like, oh, yeah.
I've seen people stand and then pass out because they get drunk so much. And you're like, geez Louise. But yeah, no, I started 8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years ago? Yeah. And then when'd you move here?
8 years ago. So I performed for a year. Maybe it was, Jesus, it's been 9 years now. That was in Milwaukee. There's only one open mic a week. And I would tell everyone I'm a comic.
And now
at the time, these two guys built a whole scene up there. Isn't incredible what they did? Because there's actually a good scene up there now. Yeah, but when I was started, it was only me and 5 other guys.
Yeah.
And it was I was I'm a comic, but I perform once a month. I was that guy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a comic, and I wasn't writing, I wasn't doing anything. And then I moved down here to do stand-up, and I started doing I was traveling from Milwaukee to go to Second City because I wanted to learn that, right?
So you're one of those, because I had people like that in my class. I had one guy from Iowa that would drive 3 hours just to go to class. I had a pilot in my class that would fly in.
And he was out of Colorado. He'd fly in just to take classes at Idaho. And I met this girl in the class, and then we ended up kind of falling for each other. And then good thing I did, because she's the one who made me basically move to Chicago. And then I went to one of the bigger open mics, and I got my ass handed to me. And I basically quit stand-up for 3 years.
Oh.
Because I just could not. I was so insecure, cocky. I was so insecure about my stand-up.
Insecure, cocky. Oh.
Also, when you're in a small market and there's only 6 of you.
You're the big fish.
You're the big fish, and there's no one telling you that you're not doing right, so you just think you're good.
Yeah.
And then you go down, and then you realize, that 20 minutes you thought you had, you only have 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you're around, because when I first went down here, Hannibal Buress was still down here.
T.J. Miller.
No, he'd be in every now and again, but Nick Vatterat and Beth Stelling, and all these people were still here. So it was holy shit.
Yeah.
And that first open mic I did, I brought my improv partner, and he was going to stand up too. And then I was I don't think I'm going to do well. And I was if I don't do well, can you just stand up and clap? It's a big thing. And then maybe I'll pull it off I did it on purpose. And I went up and I ate my dick for 3 minutes. Only person laughing is Junior Stavka. And if he's laughing, you're not doing well. He's just laughing at how bad you're doing. Nobody laughed. I mean, it's the worst I've ever laughed in my life. And I end, and I look at my friend, save me, and he just stands up and he goes, I've seen this guy make people laugh before. He's really funny. And sits down, and I quit for 3 years.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then I just strictly did improv.
Yeah, that's... bombing that hard when you have someone in the someone that's not a comic in the audience.
Yeah, I know. I know, and I use that card so much. Where I was like, come see my show, not before realizing that I should have waited 4 years.
And I know earlier we were talking about not drinking at shows and stuff, and I just remembered. I was like 7 or 8 months into stand-up. Now I done improv and sketch before, so there used to be like this 11 p.m. or midnight show at the student space at Second City before it set on fire.
Yeah.
This is before it set on fire, before they redid it.
Yeah.
And so that day I was on Facebook looking up my ex because we still, like, it had been, it hadn't been like super long since we had ended things, and we had dated for many years. And I had seen that he had checked into like an event planning place with his current girlfriend, and like I was convinced, they're engaged, right?
Oh,
that's what I thought.
Oh, no.
So I proceeded. I went to
that snowball thing.
I know. I went to Woody's down the street and had those root beers that are really strong.
Those will fuck you up.
I had like 2 or 3, and then I went and did this show, and I blacked out. I don't remember anything. But
on the show?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, my friend that was not a comic was there, thankfully. But then the elevator, I threw up in the elevator at Second City.
At Second City? Oh, no.
I threw up in the elevator.
They have videotape you doing that.
What?
They have videotape you doing that.
They probably do.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Hopefully that won't come out someday.
Oh,
but like,
my God.
but yeah, I think I threw up in multiple places, and I usually control. Usually I know when I go to the bathroom and I take care of it, and I'm a pro at it. Like, I go to the bathroom, put a mint in, continue making out with the guy.
So you're like a puke and rally girl.
Yeah.
I am too. It's so good.
But
that's so much liquid.
But that time, I did not, and I don't remember a lot of it. But my friend like told me, and like I'm pretty sure like I got blacklisted for. But that show doesn't exist anymore. But I'm pretty sure I got blacklisted from doing that show or something. It was so bad, and I feel so bad. I felt so bad the next day. I was like, oh, I really fucked up. Like I really, and this is like years ago, but like I was like, I really fucked up. I felt so bad because someone had to clean all that up, and I was just I didn't know how to cope with that, like having that big thing, thinking. And the worst part is, I found out that he wasn't engaged. He was just on a trip, and the place happened to be this thing. And I was like, fuck. I got all that upset for no reason.
Do you emotionally drink sometimes?
That time I did. I think when it comes to him specifically,
really?
I have.
Sounds like you love your life.
I'm past that. No, yeah, well, I wouldn't consider that. It was definitely, I mean, it was pretty serious. Like, we lived together, and I thought we were going to, like, end up together, and then we didn't. And so there's a lot of things that came from that. I used to be a wedding photographer, right? Okay. And we went through a breakup, and I got super depressed because, like, you're going through people's wedding photos. It's, like, the worst thing. It's the worst thing ever. And, I got super depressed, and I did some shitty things. Like, one thing I did was I got depressed, and I didn't give some people their wedding photos back for like 6 months. Like, it was a really shitty thing I did. I was just so depressed I couldn't. Just acting out. I couldn't. I was being self-destructive. I couldn't bring myself to like edit those photos and go through that because I was going through some shit. And everyone got them eventually, and they were great and all that. But I was going through some self-destructive moments for sure. But then I mean, because of him, I really pushed harder in stand-up and comedy, and I wouldn't be doing all the shit I'm doing. Like, I'm really happy now. Like, I've got friends that really get me and understand my weird idiosyncrasies and like me for that, And
I disagree because they talk about you behind your back.
Yeah. But I have fun. I'm doing these fun shows, podcasts, web series, all this fun shit. Like, I have a very fulfilling life comedically. Yeah. And I don't have time for the love stuff. Yeah. Right now, it's hard. It's really hard. And part of me is like worried if I do fall in love again, like, will they take priority? Like, I don't want them to take priority over the other shit.
It's so hard. I mean, like, I've had a serious girlfriend for 2 years.
I mean, she's really
almost
cool.
3. She's so cool.
She's so cool with everything.
She's so cool and supportive, but like, she's not very demanding of like, I need my time and I need this. But understandably, she does want it, and I also want that. So you get in this mode where you're like, if I'm at home with her, even though, like, all I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm not performing right now. I'm not working towards things. But then when I'm performing and out there, all I'm thinking, I'm like, I left my girlfriend at home, and, like, I just want to spend time with my girlfriend. So, like, you're constantly battling, and it's hard finding that, because my girlfriend was a third shift nurse, so that really helped out a lot. So, like, 3-4 nights a week, she was working, so I could just go perform, and I could do what I needed. Because like the networking, not networking, but the hanging is just as important.
We don't like the word networking in Chicago, but they'll use it in New York and LA.
Yeah, but it is more hanging. You know, you just want to be,
and you're just hanging out with friends.
Yeah. And like it's just I get more work being with people and being like, oh, you should do my, like just because you're there in your face, right? Mm-hmm. So then they're like, oh yeah, you are funny. Like let me get you on this thing. It's just the way it works out, right? Yeah. And I know that from running shows, like you're like, who have I seen lately? Like, you just go through that. So it's important. And then, so she is now working 9 to 5. So now, we're trying to find a good balance of like, I need to do what I need to do. And she's very understanding because like, it's like, well, your schedule switched. So I can't change mine, Yeah. But she's extremely, it's harder because I'm seeing her less. And I hate that because I love spending time with her. And that time was really important. But I'm at a level right now where I'm 34 and I need to, if this needs to work out and if it's not working out in a couple of years, I got to reevaluate some things. Yeah. Because it's hard work, it's talent, it's a lot of luck. And sometimes you can have hard work, you can be funny, you can be progressing, you can put your fingers in everything. But then if that luck's not there, it's hard. It's really hard. And then it's also, I'm in that mode too where it's like, maybe because I run 3 shows, so like maybe 3 shows a podcast, so like maybe I'm spending too much time on this stuff, and I'm neglecting my career.
2 of your shows are weekly, so that's like that's the only thing is I kind of wish I love my monthly show, but I was like if I had gotten a weekly show in, that would have been nice to pump that, but now I don't have the time for it. You know?
Yeah. At first you need it to progress your career.
Yeah.
But then it gets to a level where it starts holding your career back. Mm-hmm. And then I think I'm in that mode right now where like I don't know what I want to do because I love this thing that I built, but this thing that I built is also like not building me anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's building other people.
It's cracking my foundation in a way. So anxiety. It's fun. Yeah, just everyday things. That's why I like going out drinking.
Yeah, exactly. To forget about a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. So I never emotionally drink. So I don't get very emotional when I drink. I just love it. I go out to, I guess, maybe run away from the seriousness of life, but I'm not thinking about life. Yeah. Like, because my dad just passed, so like a couple months ago.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, so like, I definitely kick my drinking up a lot. Or like my going out, because I don't want to stay at home and just think. I want to just go out and just be distracted. Mm-hmm. I love being distracted, Yeah. And it's kind of nice. Because if I'm at home by myself or even with Katie, it's like my anxiety because I start thinking about things and just life and how like it's moving so quickly and like, I'm going to be 40 before I know it. And it's just like anxiety, snowball. But
if I'm out, yourself and say that you're 27.
Yeah, but it's not. And then, but if I'm out drinking with friends or I'm performing, I'm working towards something, and then afterwards I'm talking with my friends. I feel like I'm part of the thing, and then I have drinks. So then when I go home, I just fall asleep. Yeah. It's important to defend your alcoholism.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think. Well, I mean, it sounds like you have a good balance. You're very aware of it. Yeah. Yeah. And it's good that you don't emotionally drink. Like I said, that's why I try to be cautious about how much I drink. I don't drink I only give myself 1 or 2 days a week that I'll drink.
Okay, so I drink 4 to 5.
Well, because I take medicine at night, I can't mix alcohol.
Yeah.
So if I miss it, I'll smoke a little bit,
Yeah.
But that chills me out. But
yeah, I mean, when I suffered a concussion when I was in December, so I couldn't drink for 2 months.
Oh, you couldn't drink for 2 months?
Yeah. Well, I also got a brain bleed because of the concussion.
Yeah,
so,
you mentioned that.
Yeah, before.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Did we have to redo this? We did. No, we didn't.
We recorded 10 minutes before.
Yeah. I had some really great stories that I'm not going to recreate.
Yes. Yeah.
It was just 10 minutes of me just talking straight like it always is. But yeah, so I couldn't drink, and then I was performing, and it was nice not knowing that you don't really have to drink, you know. But now I'm just back to
Now I am curious because you do a podcast about The Bachelorette and The Bachelor. Now, what do you think about how much they make people drink on that show? Because like I feel like that's a thing. Like they like encourage you to get as drunk as possible.
Yeah, because you're gonna be more open.
Have those emotional breakdowns.
Yeah. I mean, it's TV. They gotta do it. And then also like, I mean, like when they do those rose ceremonies, they go until like 6 o'clock in the morning.
What?
Yeah, like if you watch. I don't know, you don't watch the show, but like
I watched one season.
Yeah.
What was it? When the guy was like a real big asshole, like the Don Pablo or
yeah.
whatever
I just started watching like maybe a couple years ago, so I missed that. I just was talking to somebody about that.
Yeah, I watched that one, and I was
like even his family were like, "This guy's terrible. What are you doing?" Yeah.
I watched that episode and that season. I don't know why. I mean, I've seen bits and pieces before, and I have like some non-comic girlfriends that are like, yeah, we're gonna have a bachelor night, and I was like,
it's huge. It's the craziest. There's a subculture that's so big.
But like none of them stay together. I don't understand.
I know.
Like none of them stay together. So like the realism of like, and they put people in this whole fantasy like world of stuff. It's like, of course, like. How can you not? If the snow is falling and a guy's reaching for you and saying,
you say the
I
right
love
name.
you, and you say the right name,
you say the right name,
then that sets up the right atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that just isn't real enough. And I feel like all of them, like, we're way too, like, if I was on the show, I'd be like, I'm hardly wearing any makeup. I'm going to just be myself. Yeah. And I wouldn't get very far because they're just all judgy on that stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
It's just like...
It's great.
Yeah. And the whole, I don't know how I feel about the whole, like, it's only okay to have sex when we say it's okay, and then you can have, then they're promoting polyamory, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But they're trying to promote, they seem like they're trying to promote monogamy, but really, it's more about polyamory.
Yeah. That's one thing I don't like about the show now, because it used to be, like, secret. The sex stuff was, like, not really talked about. But now, it's, like, I just feel like...
shames people.
A little bit, but I think it's... Yeah, they don't do it. It's, like, expected now. Like, I just feel bad for these girls, and probably guys, too. Like, I guess we'll find out this season, but, like, last season, it was, like, when they did the overnights, it was, like, expected that they had to, like, fuck Nick. And it's, like, that's kind of terrible. You know what I mean? Like, but plus you're just building so much up, and it's never gonna, if you're building something up like that, it's never gonna, like, it's not gonna be, like, fireworks and all that shit, And then... Also, it's being together. It's gotta be hard being like, you slept with two other girls while we were dating.
Yeah, and it's like and that's also like, are those nights back to back? Like that's a little like weird.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, is it just the girl that's like best in bed that he ends up picking? Like that's just like.
Yeah, that's the part I don't like about the show either.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one. I'm pretty woke.
Yeah.
I was raised by women. I know.
Yeah, that's the only thing I feel like that's very strange. Wait, what do you mean? How many sisters do you have?
I'm the only child, but I was raised by... My mom was a single mom, and then I also kind of was raised by my grandmother.
Oh, okay.
So, it's just... so I'm not favorite.
Yeah, you're very...
I'm not a very manly man. I love The Bachelor.
And I don't know, I think it is a strange thing. I mean, I wonder, like, do those girls get paid at least as long as they stay?
I don't think they get paid to be on there.
Oh, man.
I think... But the money you make is after, because, like, then you spend... like you do like meet and greets and all that shit, and like bars want you to be at the bar because then people show up and stuff. Like that's those real world people. They make all their money afterwards.
Yeah, that's the only one. Like the ones I would want. I would do the Amazing Race.
Yeah,
that would be fun. I would do that, and I would if I ever had an idea good enough, I'd do Shark Tank.
Really?
Yeah. Because I know someone
you
that was
go
on
in there
that.
And be like, I'm a comp. Do you really?
Yeah, I know someone that was on that. It was the second season. He did I Want to Draw a Cat for You.com, so I know.
You know that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Steve Gadlin.
Yeah.
Shout out Steve Gadlin if you're
Yeah.
listening. Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. And he told, because I know for real that they don't talk to producers. It's actually their own money. It's for real.
Yeah.
It's not bullshit.
Yeah.
And like, the reason I like The Amazing Race is because you actually have to like have a skill and you're traveling the world and there's no time for a lot of drama. There's maybe a little bit, but there's not really a lot of time for a lot of the drama and shit.
Yeah. See, I always wanted to be, my thing was Real World. I wanted to be in the Real World. I almost got on like 3 years in a row. I was so mad that I didn't. I think I'd get on now. I'm convinced I'd get on now.
I wanted to get on Real World too, but the thing was that when I found about the narcolepsy, I was like, oh, that would totally get me in,
Yeah.
But I wasn't old enough yet, and then, because I found out when I was like 15 or 16.
Okay.
But then when I got a little bit older, I was in college, I was like, I don't know how I was like, I don't want to submit. I didn't actually submit. I kind of wish I had now.
Oh, I did.
But now I think I'm too old, right?
No, I think it's 28.
It's to 28?
I think so.
Oh.
No. 25. How old are you?
26.
Yeah, maybe it's 25. But I want to do the real world because then I want to be on the challenge.
We should just make our own real world. Real world of comics. Just get someone's house.
I know. I'm convinced if me now, I get on real world 100% because I'm so much more confident and aware of myself that I don't have to. I'm not trying to put on a facade anymore. Because like when I was getting on real world, I was like, I'm the cool fucking drinking guy. But because you have to talk to a casting agent.
Yeah.
So you send in a video and then you have to fill out this application. And it's like, it's a psychic application, so it's like all questions, short answer questions. It's like 36 short answer questions. It took me forever to fill that thing out. Then you send that in, and then they call you to do phone interviews. They have the video tape yourself doing a phone interview, and send it in. So I got up to 2 of those. But I sent my application in, and then I sent it in a little too late the first time. So then they called me back for the next season. So I didn't audition again. They just like, hey, this is a casting director. We were interested in, but we got yourself a little too late. We want you to go further in this thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then I thought I was on. I was like, this is going to save my life. I was like so excited, and I talked to the casting. The whole time I talked to that casting director, I was just trying to act cool, and I could tell looking back that the girl was like. Because at the end, it was like, why do you want to get on? I'm like, I'm just like that fun party guy, like hanging out with girls. And she's like, you seem like there's more to you. Like,
tell us, get deeper.
Yeah, she's like, get deeper. And then I didn't have the ability to. But I have the ability to now. And I'm not afraid of, I'm not afraid to be on TV anymore.
I think we're too, I think the reason they want people up to 20 is like you get too mature at a certain level. It's like, they're going to handle this maturely. That's not going to be good TV.
Yeah.
But... I don't know. I remember I did like the real world.
I just want to be the challenge.
Yeah, the challenge. Do they still do that?
Oh yeah, they do it. Giant Bananas is great.
We should just make up. I don't know.
CT's on there still.
Yeah. What?
CT's on there from Paris. He's great.
Oh man.
And it's awesome. I love it. I love reality TV.
Yeah.
I love Vanderpump Rules. Is like one of my favorite shows.
I don't watch a lot of reality TV. I think that they just. I think it's all a lot of it. So much of it's scripted. Like Real World was one of the first ones, so that's different. Real World or Road Rules. I don't think they do road rules anymore. Yeah. Is that right? I don't know.
No, they don't.
No. And so, but I don't know.
They edit it. I mean, like I knew a girl that was on Real World, and she was just like, well, they edit it. Like she was like some episodes they're like it's not in order, so like they're like take this and move it over here.
Well, I remember this one girl. I watched one of the episodes. Like they made me look like I slept with like a bunch of people. And really, I slept with like 8 guys over 6 months, but they edited it in this one episode to look like she was bringing home a different guy every night.
Yeah. But also the one thing she did say is like they also can't use anything that you don't give them. So like. Editing is a very powerful tool, and you can obviously make people look a certain way, but also they're just taking what you've already kind of given them, So that was kind of cool. I learned a lot. It was pretty interesting.
So you could see yourself being on reality TV someday?
At one time I would, but now I'm glad I didn't because that would have destroyed my comedy career.
Yeah.
Because then Theo's the only one that kind of made it, but I just feel like you can't. When I look at Theo Von, I'm still like that's the guy from the Real World.
Oh, I didn't even make that fucking connection.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I did not even realize that.
He was on the Real World first.
Damn, I did not know that.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're not, because I also have an acting background. I'm not saying, I don't know if I'm going to go try to pursue that more, but if the opportunity comes up, I think that kind of messes with your acting career too. If it's like
the girl, I'm only saying this because she's the Asian girl. I'm trying to forget her name. She was on Real World, Hawaii. San Diego. And she's an actress, and she's a good actress, but I think she just also gets like, kind of like us as the girl from the Real World.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it gets like brushed off and not taken seriously.
Yeah. I forget what movies she was in. Sorority Row and some of those. Yeah. So just like.
So I think that's what a lot of people do, and then it takes them a while to break out of that, or get taken seriously. Or like people that just like even like people that were on Disney shows that like move on, which Yeah,
and then they all act out, and they're all like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
JC of these people.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I wasn't like, because I acted as a kid, but I didn't like ever go out to like LA or anything. But I had a family friend of ours was telling my parents that, I should try to take my, resume and go out to LA.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I didn't because that could have been bad.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't like it anymore.
Yeah. Chicago's so good. It's a great place to cut your teeth in. It's amazing.
The talent going on right now is just amazing. In a lot of aspects, not just stand up, but also sketch and improv too.
Yeah, I mean, I've had 4 people I know on Saturday Night Live. You know, from teachers I've had and coaches I've had and just people I've performed with and stuff. It's insane that like like Alex Moffat, I came up doing improv with him. So it's insane that I'm like good for him. You know. Yeah,
I had 5 Bs with Cecily Strong and.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had and then I had Tim Robinson as a coach, who's incredible. Who's one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. And Tim Baltz he wasn't on SNL, but he's on...
he does Shrink Show, which is great.
He's just one of the funniest people, like, just period. He's so funny and just naturally, and he's so, like, excited about comedy. It made me so... I would look forward to that class every week because he'd be in the sides just being like, yes, if you hit.
That makes me think of Blaine Swen too. He's like that. I took improv Shakespeare workshop with him. I've never seen any teacher so enthusiastic and so genuinely like giddy in class. And like that's one thing I love about Blaine, you know.
Yeah, I had him for level 1 and like every time, and I haven't seen him in years, but
because he's in LA now, I think.
Oh yeah. But when I would still run into him, he just would be like, I remember that scene that you and this guy, Prescott Hoke, who's a comic in LA now.
Yeah.
We were in class together and we just did this scene. He just was always like, I fucking love that scene that you guys did.
And he's such a nice... And like, what I love is that there's so many nice, genuinely decent people that come from Chicago too. I don't know if it's like the Midwest thing, but like... And I'm not saying like people from the coast are assholes, but I just feel like there's more... I think
there's more genuine to their personality.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't tell someone a good show if they didn't do a good show. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like, you know, like I feel that there's not that level of fakeness as like in other cities where people might just be like just doing that just to be nice. You know?
Yeah. And like the hard work aspect too. I love the respect that you get just from working hard. Cool. It's important.
Yeah, it is. Well, I know we didn't talk much about sleep stuff during this one, but what I always ask people before we wind down the podcast, what are your dreams for the future? Your dreams?
Aspirations?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm in like a crossroads in my... I mean, I would love to... My ideal before... I would love to be on a TV show. Like a not a well-known TV show, but just respected. That's funny. I would love to get my half hour, you know, and I just would want to be respected by my peers. Like I think more than anything, I just want to be respected by my peers the most. I think that's like to me, that's
awesome.
It's so amazing to just have people be like, that guy's really funny. Like I run like one of my favorite comics, period, is Sean Flannery, who's an amazing comedian and storyteller, and I run a show with him, and I still get nervous to talk to him because I have so much respect for him and what he does and how he does it, and I just would love to have that in return from somebody. You know, it's just like I really respect what you do. Like that, there's nothing better you can do than go to a comic who's the most insecure person you'll ever meet in your life and just be like, I really respect what you do.
Yeah,
that's great. That's cool as shit, right?
Absolutely.
But it probably won't work out, so maybe I'll just hold my own theater.
Well, Jonah, I really respect what you do.
Hey, I really respect what you do.
Thanks.
See? It feels good, right?
Good.
Right?
Well, thanks so much.
It warmed my heart a little bit.
I do.
I almost was like, I'm done now. That's all I needed. I quit.
I will say, you work, I will say, out of, there's a lot of guy producers, right? But like, there aren't that many like white male producers that produce as much as you do. Like you produce 3 fucking shows, and you also do a podcast, and I feel like that's a lot. That's really awesome, you know. You're still doing that. You're not getting lazy with your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like you still work hard. That's
I hate getting complimented and then having to be like, yeah, you're right, I'm great. Isn't that so weird when you're like, have you ever been like in a thing when they're like, oh God, Sarah told me the most amazing like advice the other day. Like she said this, and then you gotta be like, yup, I did say that. I'm great. Isn't it awkward as shit? You're like, yeah, I don't like this at all. I hate every second of this. But yeah, I mean that's the thing is like.
Well, you gotta. But the thing is, you put in the work, which is the real reason why I respect you a lot, and you're
thanks.
Funny. But
yeah, I know that's the thing too. Then you get insecure because you run a shit ton of stuff too. But then people start being like, she's a great producer. And you're like, fuck you, I'm a comic.
Oh, yes, I get that same way too. Yeah. You're like, you're a really great producer. I'm like, yeah, but I'm also a comic.
I'm also a fucking comedian. Like, Brennan and Brennan's podcast, which is like another comic in Chicago. Like, I get mentioned on there a few times. Like, like top 5 comics that you like, it's always, oh, he's a great producer. It's never he's really funny. It's always like, oh, his shows are great. And
but the thing is, you're creating stuff, which I like. I think that's where you can make this more of a career. Is you're creating content, putting content out into the world. You're creating content, and at some point, someone's gonna pay attention to that and be like, oh, we should make this a show.
They fucking
you know.
They better. But I just think too, like, I think it's important because comedy is so amazing.
It is.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or theater, whatever you're into, right? But the thing is that being a successful comic, I don't want to be a road comic. I don't want to be a road dog guy.
Same here.
I just want to create, and I want respect, and I want bigger than that. You know what I mean? But there is a lot of luck. I think we mentioned something. I don't know if we mentioned the one before. There's a lot of luck, but so then just because you don't make it in that doesn't mean that you can't be as successful in starting a comedy theater. Like these people that UCB did. Like what UCB did. That was that's my second goal. Is if comedy isn't working out for me. I mean, like, I'm starting to headline clubs and, like, I'm starting.
I think it's working out for you right now, man.
Yeah, but, like, you never know. I'm 34, right? I have to be honest with myself. I'm 34. You can't be 46 and still being like, I'm still doing mics. I still run my weekly showcase show at a bar, right? So then the second dream of mine is, if I don't get the stand-up dream, is to, like, start my own UCB, basically, here, where it's, like, it's nothing but the best shows from improv, stand-up, sketch, and bring everything together.
Oh.
And have because like some of the greatest things that ever happened in my career was taking classes from Cook County Social Club.
Yeah, great.
Are amazing, but they did private classes, and they were so mean to you, as in they were just so honest. They'd be like, "That is not right,"
Mm-hmm.
Even though like you made the right decision, but you didn't do it in the right way.
Yeah.
They would make people cry. And, like, even, like, if a scene was going bad, like, Greg Hess would be like, hey, go in there with a gun.
Oh, Greg.
Yeah.
He's
so amazing.
I love Greg on improv. I used to go to Improv Shakespeare all the time.
Yeah,
and I remember
fantastic.
him and when Thomas Middleditch used to do it.
Yeah.
And Blaine. And, like, I remember seeing all those guys. Like, I would go every week when I first started.
It's so amazing.
And I remember that was, like, my favorite show.
Yeah.
Because I would go there, I'd crash at a friend's house that night, and then Saturday I'd have class, and then I'd drive back to the suburbs to school.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would so every Friday I would see them, and like I remember I loved Greg in that.
He's great. He's a great actor.
Yeah, and now I see him like once in a while I'll be like watching something on the commercial, I'll be like, oh, that's Greg Hess in the car commercial. Okay, cool.
So this class was Greg Hess, is Mark Ratterman, who's one of the most underrated improvisers I think in the country. He's so amazing and he's so funny, and it would be either Brendan Jennings or Tim Robinson, right? So you get Goofy from Brendan or Tim.
Yeah.
You get a note from that on how to be silly or how to like just kind of make it, and also they emotionally react to everything perfectly. Then Mark Redman is one of the best at finding a game in a scene, which completely changed my stand-up because they had
I love that you're talking about how improv changed your stand-up, which I think some people
changed me as a performer.
Pay attention to this because I feel like a lot of people stand-up like hate on improv.
Every comedian should take stand-up for sure because I remember.
Or you mean every comedian should take improv? Or,
yeah, did I say stand-up?
You said stand-up.
Yeah, every stand-up should take improv, and I think every improviser should take stand-up. I think you should just learn everything because, like, for me, I remember. I was taking a class once, and I forget who was. It was Mike O'Brien, but Pat O'Brien.
Yes,
at the time.
Pat. Yeah.
So I had him as a teacher right when he got SNL, and I was in some scene or something, and then he just goes, "What are you doing?" And he's just like, "What are you doing?" And I go, "I don't know. I'm trying to be funny." He goes, "Yeah, everybody sees that you're trying to be funny. Just be funny. Stop trying."
Yes.
And that's the skill of a performer is to make it look like you're not trying to be funny. You just are being funny.
See, I started with improv because I didn't think I was funny by myself.
Yeah.
So, like, I started with improv, and then I was like, I can be funny with these people, and that's cool. And then I kind of went to sketch, and I was like, oh, I could come up with this idea and then write this out, and then it can be... But it was still, like, the group was being funny.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until one day I was just like... Because I had all these groups I was part of, that we'd do like 8-week runs here, 8-week runs there, and then we'd like run out of steam. And and I was like, I don't want to depend on people to perform every night. And then I just went, and I was like, I think I got 5 minutes, and then I just went and did a mic, and then I just kept doing stand up. It actually didn't go that bad. It was at Merkel's. That
was
Paul
good, Mike.
Farrar used to mark.
Yeah.
And then there was Alex Selkson, who runs Secret Sides and Alibis with me. She was
Yeah.
there my very first time doing stand-up.
Oh, really?
I think I might have gotten like a laugh or two, which was nice. But I had also been performing. I've been performing in some capacity since I was 5.
Yeah.
So I wasn't I didn't have the stage fright.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to write good enough punchlines. I had good ideas, but I didn't have, because with improv you don't really learn as much writing punchlines. No. So stand up is what taught me how to write punchlines. Yeah. How to make things. So now when I write scripts, it's so much better because I'm like, oh, I'm going to punch this up. Okay. And stand up gave me the confidence to run my own shows. Okay. Because before stand up, I was just casting stuff. Yeah. And now you're writing for yourself. Yeah, and now I'm like, oh, I have this idea for this show. I'm not going to wait for. The thing, Donnie Skybox, to say yes to this show submission. I'm just going to find a place to do it and do it myself.
Yeah, Michael Bryan, that was one of the things he said. Because every class, he was like, okay, this is going to sound cocky, but like, first 5 minutes of class, you can ask me any question about how I got to where I got.
It's so cool.
And the first thing he said was, stop waiting for somebody to write for you. He goes, I didn't get Tourco. I didn't get on my stage until I kept auditioning, and they weren't taking me, and then I wrote my own show, and I put it up at Donnie Skybox, and one of the casting people were there, saw it, liked it, and then booked me for ETC, and then I got main stage, and I stopped waiting. Yeah. And it's such an amazing...
At the very least, you're creating something for yourself that you find funny, and you're putting it out there in the world. Yeah. And then if it's good enough, enough people will see it, and it will get you the attention to get to that next step.
Yeah, it's just like those years of my life, those 4 years, 3 years when I was just obsessed with improv and sketch and all that. It is like it developed me into the performer that I do like I am now. Like with Ratterman, because he was so good at gameplay, so they had, which is like finding this game in the scene, right? Because Cook County Social Club used to get shit on. Like, they were shit on by the improv community at first because they were so jokey and they listened to the audience. They're the only group that first would listen to the audience. And he taught me, that's one of the things I learned too, is like, listen, like, they're laughing because they think it's funny, so just keep doing that, but always be progressing it. And then you gotta keep heightening and heightening. His analogy was like, it's like going upstairs. You keep heightening and heightening, but then you're gonna hit that wall. So then you need to make a left turn. And then you need to switch it to something else. But listen, and that helped me in my stand-up, because I do stories in my stand-up, but it helped me develop games that I'm playing in my stories that I hit on, because I hear a laugh, and I know, okay, keep doing that. And it also, like...
So do you kind of, like, write as well while you're doing stand-up?
I don't write.
Improv, like, on the spot?
Oh, I don't. I improvise on stage a lot.
Yeah. So you do improv.
I write in bullet points. So like what I think the laugh lines are.
But you will pivot. Improvise and like just add in. That's
I'll pivot as much as I can, because like I'll sit sometimes. I like to try to seem conversational. If I write, every time I've ever written a joke, it's really hard for me to like deviate from it, because I feel like I have to stick to some of the words that I've written, but also it doesn't sound conversational.
With you.
Yeah, and then also like, I found more in my jokes by allowing myself to just, I feel something and I just do it, and then I get a laugh and I'm like, okay, keep doing that, and then keep finding that. Okay, now I've had jokes completely change because I've allowed myself to do that, and it's so important. I learned that from improv, and then also in improv too. Like, I did long form, you did long form. So, like, sometimes you're in a scene with somebody, and it's like, this isn't going well at all. Yeah. But you're like, I can't get out of this scene until we find something. So you have to just give yourself to your performer, to your partner, and you have to just trust that you'll figure it out. Yeah. And that's the thing on stage, too. Like, sometimes, like, especially if you're in a story, because, like, you got to finish the fucking story.
Yeah.
So you're like, you can't just be like, oh, never mind, and just do something else. So sometimes I'll be in a story, I'm like, I have to figure this out. I have to. And then I will. Most of the time I will. Sometimes I don't. But it's all just from that training I had with improv. It just taught me to be a confident performer on stage, and then be comfortable in silence, and because like sometimes you get the biggest laugh from just being silent. And
exactly. And actually letting it breathe for a second.
Yeah, and that's the problem I have, is I step on my jokes a lot. Because lately I have, because I've been speeding up my speech, but then sometimes if I just stop I'll get better.
Yeah, I've had that too, and part of that was that we're letting them on sometimes to stay, so sometimes I've had that issue in the past and tried to just, try to, and also just to have more fun with it too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, the idea of improv is like the sense of play, and I feel like a lot of stand-ups don't have that sense of play on stage.
Yeah, it's just too serious. We're just too serious about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, is like, I guess I'm a performer, I'm not an artist. I don't consider the things that I do on stage to be, like, groundbreaking, and, like, sometimes you see these performers and you're like, holy shit, that person is, like, that's incredible. Like, that's an artist.
Like Stephen King or something like that.
Like stuff like that, where you're just like, when so Badarat was here, I was like, what is this guy?
I'll never. Badarat's new thing, by the way.
No,
he did this like half-hour like sketch show that he just created himself. Like it's like just him doing different characters in sketch. It's like a half-hour thing. It's really great. It's called Out of Something. I will plug it properly, but it's really good.
Yeah,
he's got.
He's amazing. I mean, I'll never be that. I just know that I don't have it in me. But like, I can be very honest, and I don't have anything that I don't want to talk about, But like, I'm like talking about how great I think I am. But like I tell stories, so like,
this part of the conversation came from me complimenting you too much, and you feel
I feel uncomfortable. but then being like, I am great. This is who I am. I don't know. I just like I pride myself on being a good performer, and I think that's important. And it's just like it's just going back to the improv thing, where it's just like it's incredible. And I feel like when I was there 6-7 years ago, I mean, it was like this. I felt like this whole new like renaissance of these amazing improvisers. I mean, just think about the people that were there around then, like Blaine, Tim Baltz, like all these people.
Yeah.
Like Cook County Social Club and The Reckoning and like TJ and Dave.
And what's cool is you still have some people that stay around, like Susan Messing. She's still, she's here, she's kicking ass, and she's doing, and then other people that go and like Tara DeFrancisco and Rancho, they went and started their own theater in like Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah,
and like
so cool.
And there's just a lot of really cool talent in Chicago, not just stand-up, but stand-up, sketch, improv, at all. Yeah. Like, it's such a good place to be coming from and creating stuff.
Yeah, and I'm such a supporter of everybody. Almost creepy to a like I'm very like concerned, like I need to do well and all this stuff, but like I'm so happy, like one of my friends like Soren Chonsky had his own TV show on Fuse.
Oh, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it only lasted like 8 episodes, wasn't that good, but actually it was becoming good. But I recorded every episode and I watched it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, if any of my friends are on anything, like Chris Red, whenever he's on anything, I always make sure I watch it and support him. It's just amazing. That film
last year was so fucking funny.
I think it was amazing.
That was done really
the best
fucking well.
It was so good, and it keeps getting better every time I watch it. And I'm just waiting for somebody to make it next. Like, take me with you. I just want to jump on somebody's coattails. Take me. Don't forget about me.
I'm sure you'll get your chance soon, man.
Yeah, but I just want everyone to do well.
Yeah, I think we all keep working. That's the nice thing about stand-up. If you keep working hard at it, it'll happen. Like.
I know, it's so cool.
Yeah.
What's cooler than like putting your fucking hard work into something that percentages are against you and you make it work? That's the coolest thing in the world. There's nothing cooler than that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we'll close down the podcast, but just say goodnight.
I have another thing I want to say. I'm kidding. I was fucking
and we always end the podcast by saying good night, everybody.
Oh, good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Sleeping with Sarah, where I slept with Jonah Jurkens. You can catch Jonah every week at the Blind Bet at the Pony and follow Jonah on Twitter at Jonah Jurkens. This podcast is part of the Laugh Factory Podcast Network. Please remember to subscribe and rate and review on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and SoundCloud. We're brought to you by Audible.com. Please go to audibletrial.com/sleepingwithsarah. I'm releasing a new podcast each week. Be sure to tune in to find out who I have in bed with me next. Thanks to Josh Bryant for the music. You can find out more on sleepingwithsarah.com. And please follow me on Twitter at Sarah Albritton. Until next time, good night.
Sleeping with Sarah.